hope it's good because it's getting down to the wire. The graph represents the number of songs played on a. Oh, it's still frozen. Right. The graph represents the number of songs played on a radio station. What is a constant of proportionality? Constant of proportionality is actually on the formula chart. It is K equals Y divided by X. How many of you have that written on your paper? Okay. How many of you are going to write it down now? Please do that. If you look at your graph here, Y would be what? 14 over. How many of you have that written down? Write it down. What's 14 divided by 2? 7. It doesn't matter if you got it right, if you just guessed. Write it down. Number 4, the employer withholds 6.2% of your monthly income to send to Social Security. If Mr. Chang's monthly gross income is $4,800, how much will be withheld for Social Security? How do I solve this? How do I know to write a proportion? How many of you have written a proportion already? If you don't have it written, write it down. If I see a percent sign, I know it's 100 on the bottom here. The 6.2 goes on top of it. What goes beside the 100? 4,800. Everybody should be writing. Cross multiply, what's 100 times X? 100X. And then we're going to do 6.2 times 4,800. That's 16, carry the 1, 49. It's 8, and your hands should be moving just like mine. How many places are behind the decimal in the problem? Huh? Then what do I do from here? Divide by what? 100. We do that by moving the decimal 2 places. I got the first one. Number 1, find number 1. I have number 1 next. The net for a cube is shown below. What is the lateral surface area of the cube? Lateral means without the bases. This is a cube. What do you know about all the sides of it? They're all the same. So I'm just going to mark off the 2 odd looking ones. This is 8. What is the measure of this one? 8. So that would be how much? 64. And how many are there? If you do not have this written, you should be writing it down and working it out. How many of you already had it before right now? That's one person? Y'all are killing me. What'd you get? 256. Good. Number 5. Last month, the local plant nursery ordered a shipment of 60 shrubs. This month, they ordered 75 shrubs. What is a percent of increase in the amount of shrubs ordered? What do you write? Proportion. How many of you already have a proportion written before I told you to? Why do the rest of you not? What do you do when you see a percent sign? Proportion. Proportion. Or you see the word percent when you read it. And you put 100 here. How do we solve this? How do you solve percent increase? Change over what? Quit mumbling. Talk. Guys, just because I got on to you for not doing your work doesn't mean I don't want you to talk. Talk to me. Change over what? Original. What is the original amount of shrubs?
60.
What is the change, the difference? How'd you get 15? Subtract it. Change over original. If you do not have this written, now is the time to write it down. $60x, what's 15 times 100? Now what? Divide both sides by 60. Can you mark off a 0?
Yes.
Yes. Do the work. The real. What is it? 25. You're good. And then number 3. Joni made a scale drawing of her jewelry box. The actual box measured 10 inches by 8 inches by 5 inches. If she used a scale of 1 centimeter, represents 2.5 inches. What are the dimensions of the scale drawing? I would write a proportion here. Centimeters over inches. And what do you know?
1 centimeter represents 2.5 inches.
Good. And this is 10 what? Inches. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to get 2.5x. Why are your hands in your pocket, Silas, and you're not writing? Because we both know you don't have this written down. Now what do we do from here?
You divide by 2.5.
Divide both sides by 2.5. Which gives you 4. What is not the answer? B. Write it down. Don't just sit and hold the pencil, right? Do not make Miss Ruiz come over there and sit next to you. So now we know we're going to be dividing by 2.5. What is the next thing we're going to divide by 2.5? 8 divided by 2.5. If I move the decimal, that means I got to do it in here, right? How many times does 25 go into 80?
3.
That's 75. 5 left. If I add a 0 and bring it down, 25 into 50.
2.
What is not the answer? D. Now we have to do 5 divided by 2.5, which is 2. What is the correct answer? C. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can close your computers. Caden, flip the lights on for just a second, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Record. Okay, we're actually going to skip through this pretty quick. We are not going to do everything on here, so don't worry about it. I just decided I like this better than what I have, so I bought this instead of made it. So we're going to go ahead and go to page 2. So everybody there, look at page 2. If you don't have it, it's okay. All right, everyone but you're still going to participate. Everyone in the population must have an equal chance. This is the words, equal chance of being selected in order for a sample to be random. So we're going to, while we're waiting on Ms. Ruiz, we're going to talk about what a random sample is. Okay. Example, a survey is taken of a favorite sports in 7th grade, but only girls are surveyed. Is that a random sample? No, so this is not a random sample. So let's talk about that for a minute. If I go to a Mexican food restaurant and ask everybody coming out of the Mexican food restaurant what their favorite food is, what are they probably going to say?
Mexican.
Mexican food, right? I mean, if you don't like Mexican food, are you gonna go eat Mexican food? No. So is that a random sample? No. If I go to a football game on Friday night and ask everybody there to get a sample of what their favorite sport is, what are they probably going to say? Football. Is that random? No, that's not a good that's not a good way to survey. You with me? If I go to Walmart and ask every 10th person coming out the door what their favorite sport is that random?
Yes.
Yes. So this is kind of where we're going, and then we're going to learn to read bar graphs, circle graphs. We're going to start with bar graphs today. Line plots, box and whisker plots, things like that. Okay, that's this week. This is the last lesson of the year. Are you excited?
Yes.
So let's look at this little situation right here. The senior class president would like to host an after graduation lock-in. There will be games, gifts, and food. In order to decide if people would be willing to buy tickets and attend, she has decided to conduct a survey. She will select 25 students to meet and give input on the prizes, food, and ticket price. There are 500 members of the senior class. So number 7, she selects every 10th student as they get off the bus in the morning. Is that random?
Yes.
Or what about the people whose parents bring them to school? What about the people who walk to school? So I don't think that's random because it's only people on the bus. That one is kind of tricky. Number 8, she asked her choir director to allow her to survey the choir. Is that random?
No.
No, they might like different stuff than the football team, right? Number 9, she meets with the counselor who selects every 20th student on the school roster.
Yes.
Is that random? Number 10, she assigns each senior a number and randomly selects 25 numbers.
Yes.
Number 11, she makes an announcement that the people interested should meet in the library after school.
Yes.
No, because you want to get people that are like, I don't care, but still asking maybe what their favorite food is. Good. And then number 12, a roster of the senior class is printed and each student's name is put into a hat. The principal selects 25 names.
Yes.
Yes. Good. All right. We're going to skip that next page. So if you're with me, we're on to page 4. And I kind of want this release to hurry, but it's okay. Once a sample has been collected from a population, and blank can be, about the entire population can be made by setting up a proportion. The word is inference. Where else have you heard inference? Good. Where do you hear about it in reading? Tell me about reading. Huh? Yeah, that's right. So it's the same thing. To infer means to figure things out before, using your context clues, pretty much. These inferences can also be used to compare different populations and make predictions, is this one. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this. I just want you guys to follow along. Use the information below to answer the questions. Eastside Middle School conducted a survey of randomly selected 6th graders to determine which elective they were most likely to participate in. The results are shown in the table. How many students were surveyed? What do you do? Please do that. You can use your paper where you, if you don't have the packet, you can use your paper where you worked out the beginning assignment. Okay, so it's 40. What percentage of students surveyed selected Spanish as their elective choice? How do you do percent? You write a proportion. So if you don't have the packet on your paper where you did your beginning assignment, please write down what I'm writing down. Unless, of course, you don't care. What goes here?
100.
X.
And here is,
X.
and here,
40.
and above it. Where'd you get 14?
Spanish.
Good. Does everybody see that? Dalen, did you get it written? Nathan, did you get it written? Huh? Nathan, did you get it written? The school estimates that there are actually 350 students in the 6th grade. Using this sample, about how many students can be expected to sign up for art? This would be another proportion. How many signed up for art?
6.
Out of 40, right? So if 6 out of 40, it wants to know how many out of what? 350. Do you know how to solve that? Yeah, I'm not going to make you solve them. I believe you know how to solve a proportion by now, right? Yeah. The school estimates that there are actually 350 students in the 6th grade. Using this sample, how many students can be expected to sign up for theater? How many signed up for theater?
20.
Out of?
40.
So if 20 out of 40,
How many out of 100?
how many out of?
300. Artemis, you
Everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
It's pretty simple, right? Make sure you're writing. Everybody got it written?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to turn the page. Told you we're going to skip a lot of this. We're going to go to number 2 here. A video company, so you're just going to have to look at the board if you don't have the packet yet. A video company randomly selected male and female subscribers and asked them what their preferred genre of TV show was. Use the survey results in the graph at the right to answer the questions below. A, how many total subscribers were surveyed? Well, this is men and this is women. So let's count them. What's the men here? 24. How many women? Is it 15 or 16? How many men here?
10, 11,
How many women?
27,
How many men?
15,
And women would be,
6.
I think, about 7. So how do we find the total?
Add them.
Add them. Please do that. Please do not yell out the answer. Dalen, what'd you get? If you're still working, it's okay. I'll wait. What is it? Why is your head down on the table? So there were 100 surveyed. These are going to be pretty simple. What percentage of subscribers surveyed selected drama as their TV show of choice? How many people selected drama? 38?
38 out
100? So that would be 38%, right?
Oh, yes, this is easy. Yes.
Letter C, the video company estimates that there are actually 2,000 women subscribers. Using this sample, how many women subscribers can be estimated to watch action shows? This would be another proportion. Make sure you're writing it down.
22.
So how many women like action?
7.
Oh, 7.
Out of
2,000.
how many?
2,000.
100. If 7 out of 100, it wants to know
How many out of 2,000?
Oh.
how many out of 2,000. Write it down. Letter D, what percentage of subscribers that preferred comedies are women? So what do we know we're going to do? If it's a percent?
Proportion. 16.
How many people like comedy?
16. 40.
What are you gonna do to figure out how many like comedy?
Add them up.
Add them together. 40? Is it 40?
Yes.
And how many are women?
16.
You got it written down? E, mark all the following statements as true or false based on the data. More men were surveyed than women.
No, false.
I don't think so. Women like dramas more than comedies and action shows combined.
True.
True.
True, true, true.
How many women like comedy?
16.
How many like action?
7.
What's that?
23.
23. And how many like drama?
27.
27. Good. Half as many men chose action than comedy.
Wait, true.
Is 15 half of 24?
No.
No.
Did everybody in here have one?
No.
No.
You need one.
False.
I messed up and then I was trying to hurry.
That's okay.
Thank goodness, have a good day.
So go to population inferences. When you get your packet,
You killed the trees. You killed the oxygen. Oh, what a bit, what a day.
all right. Everybody get it? Got it? The Mitchell Junior High newspaper staff conducted 2 samples in which 40 students were randomly surveyed to represent the entire 600-member student population. The results of the 2 surveys are shown below. So there are 40 in sample 1 and 40 in sample 2. You got me? Read each headline and explain the statement as supported by the data. I don't know that we're going to explain, but we are going to talk about it. Over 300 students want to start after 8 a.m. How many people were surveyed here?
40.
No.
80.
80.
80 because there's sample 1 and sample
Yep. How many are in the entire population?
2. 600.
So everybody with me here. How many want to start after 8 a.m.?
Oh,
37.
And is 9 a.m. after 8 a.m.?
Yes.
Figure it out. How many want to start after 8 a.m.? How many?
70.
Is 8:30 after 8 a.m.?
Yes. Yes.
You can't just sit there and stare. You have to write some things down and work it out. It's not just going to come to you. Write it down. Find the correct page, write it down. It says population inferences at the top. How many people want to start after 8 a.m.? How many?
20.
I don't think it's 20. I circled them.
54.
54.
you add them up.
So before I do the work, I'm going to see if I can figure it out. Tell me about 300 compared to 600.
It's half.
It's exactly half of it, right?
Yes.
So is it going to be more than 300? Looking at this, don't work it out. Just tell me what you think. How do you know?
Because that's
Because that's more than half of 80, right? Yeah, that's it. Good. Look at B. 8:30 is the a.m. start time is the most popular. Is that true?
yes.
Looks that way, right? Small percentage of students want to start at 7:45 a.m. I don't think it's the smallest, is it? No.
9 a.m. is the smallest.
Less than 100 students want to start at 9 a.m. So this would be 17 out of 80. And how many total are there?
Wait a minute, where did you get 80 at?
600. That's your proportion. You don't have to solve it. Just, guys, when I sit and look at you and you're sitting there with your hands in your lap, not writing anything down, no, unacceptable. Look at number 2 here. Based on sample 1, how many students from the entire student population preferred the 8:30 a.m. start time? How many people were in sample 1?
40.
40, and who preferred 8:30? 18. If 18 out of 40, how many out of, what was the total?
600.
Good. You don't have to solve it, just write it down. Good? All right, turn the page. Bar graphs. We are going to interpret bar graphs. We're going to start right here where it says a brown paper sack is filled with color tiles for a science experiment. How many tiles are in the brown paper sack? So I'm going to say this one would be about how many?
19 or 20.
This one would be about 8. This one is,
12,
and this one would be about,
10.
how do you find how many are in there? Add them up. Do it. Right now. Put your pencil to paper and add them up. How many?
50.
Good. We're not going to do letter B. Look at number 1. What percent of the tiles are blue? What do you see there?
Percent.
What do you write?
Proportion.
And how many were there total?
50.
And how many were blue?
8.
What goes here?
100.
That's pretty easy, right? Can you cheat?
Yes.
What'd you get?
16.
Good. Get number 4. How does the number of blue and green colored tiles compare to the number of red colored tiles? Here's your blue and green compared to red.
They're equal.
They're equal. Good. Turn the page. Ms. Reynolds creates a bar graph of the number of students who have a birthday in the first half of the year. Use the graph below to answer questions 6 through 9. I want you to do that right now on your own.
No. Go back and get in there.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you your assignment. You're actually going to do 6 through 12 on this page. Make sure you know what I'm saying. 6 through 12 on this page, and then the next page you're going to do, and that's it. Interpreting bar graphs. You don't have to explain why your answer is correct. Just find the correct answer. So this page, nope, I'm just kidding. This page, which I believe is page 8. I don't like it that they didn't number these pages. This is page 8 and page 9. That's what you're going to do for your assignment.
No.
Work on it until the duck quacks.